From the Weather NorCal Command Center, this is your morning update.
Your weekend weather update is made possible by Caltrans District 2.
Hey folks, good morning and happy Mother's Day. I'll tell you what, if you want to have a picnic or something for, great weather for it. Bring the sunscreen though. It's going to be in the 90s here in the valley once again. Out towards Siskiyou and Modoc County, we'll be consistently there in the 80s. Same for the eastern mountains out towards Plumas County as well. However, a little bit of an X factor in the forecast. We're talking the possibility of maybe some rumbles of thunder in the upper elevations with some convection popping up across the area. Now, as we head across the area, I think most of us will be dry. Now, notice the marine layer really ripping through this morning, so we'll be a little bit cooler and dry out towards the coast. Check it out, though, through this afternoon. Futurecast paints that cumulus bubbling, kind of bubbling up, right? That's kind of a tongue twister. Say cumulus bubbling 5 times fast, right? But check this out. It really does kind of do that. It bubbles up and actually starts to manifest into some convection, right? We actually start seeing the possibility of some of those heavier downpours and very isolated portions out towards Siskiyou, Modoc, and the eastern mountains. Maybe even some rolls of thunder mixed in there, but notice by this evening it really starts to fade away, and notice it kind of stays out towards the higher elevations and it's very isolated. So would I plan your day around it? Well, you know, not necessarily, but I would consider it, right, in your day plans if you're heading out towards those upper elevations in Siskiyou County, Modoc County, and out towards the eastern mountains. Through the valley itself, out towards the Trinity Alps, out towards portions of the coast. I think we're going to be dry. Don't worry about it there. But like I said, Wairika from Mount Shasta City north and from Aden north up towards Alturas and last Volcanic State Park points east, you know, maybe factor that in. Consider the possibility there. And if you hear a rumble of thunder, well, you know, when thunder roars, go indoors, right? You know the situation there. But very much a summer-like pattern. Most of us will be dry through today and then tomorrow. Looking fantastic. We're going to start the day out just fine. And that's really setting the stage for a big-time warming trend and really steady-state warming trend in the big picture. Let me show you why. I've been using this term over the last day or two, and of course Mike was as well. Heat ridge. I think everyone's going to have that burned into their brains when all is said and done with it. Burned, you know, no pun intended, right? But, I mean, check it out here. Through the midweek especially, this thing starts to push east here. It's going to take itself and set itself down, put its butt right down over the North State, right? So we're going to really see a big-time dry out. So we're not going to see much in the way of rain over the next 5 to 7 days, nothing like that. And we're definitely going to see the warming trend. It looks like the models are trending more towards this broader ridge as opposed to something flatter, which would actually, in this case, give us warmer temperatures. So I think we might be starting to flirt with the possibility of those triple digits creeping in here in the extended term here. So I'm talking towards Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, we might very well see some of us warming up even more so than that. And I think this ridge actually continues to build by the end of the week. That's why that kind of time frame there towards Thursday, Friday, Saturday looks to be the hottest portion of the week here for a lot of us across the area. So that's really what we have mainly in the forecast. So let's break it down here, see what we have in store for the 7-day Redding, Red Bluff to Chico, here through the valley. Like I said here in the midweek, we're starting to see those upper 90s, maybe even triple digits there in that time frame there, because of course give it a few degrees of wiggle room and well, by Wednesday here and by towards the end of the week, you're right there nudging the door, knocking on the door of 100. So I think that's going to be the first sign of those triple digits for this time of year here out towards the coast. Well, I think we're going to be kind of steady, right? Mid-60s, kind of typical for this time of year. Head a little further inland though and all bets are off. You're right there near 90 by Wednesday. And I'm sure some of us might even hit 90 by Monday or Tuesday, to be honest with you. Head out towards Trinity County and Weaverville. Check those lower 90s out, coming back into that time frame there, warming up by the end of the week there, as well as that ridge builds. Out towards Mount Shasta City, Alturas, and Modoc County, out towards Plumas County as well. Again, keep in your mind the possibility of maybe a thunder shower or two, maybe even a locally heavy downpour with some of that isolated stuff. Not going to be a big deal, but if you do see it, don't say I didn't warn you. I do think the possibility is there with these conditions out here. Definitely some instability in the atmosphere, right? That much is for sure. With temperatures climbing as we head towards the middle and end portions of the week, back to the 80s for Mount Shasta City really quickly. Well, back to the mid-80s really. Alturas out here in Modoc County will be back in the 80s by about Wednesday, Thursday. Susanville out towards Quincy, Doyle, out there in the eastern portion of the North State. I think we're going to be staying pretty steady state in those mid-80s, dry as a bone as we head past today. And even for most of us, today will be dry, right? Let's be honest here. So all in all, looks like a pretty nice week, but I said this over the last couple updates, and I'll say it again, bring some water, bring some sunscreen, because it's going to be toasty out there as we head into the 2nd and 3rd weeks of May. Thanks for joining me for this forecast update. Of course, I'll be back with you at midday for more fresh from the Weather NorCal Command Center, and I'll speak to you then.